It's not that much of a hot take to say that the NBA All-Star Game has become very unwatchable and just boring and kind of dreadful, which really isn't something that you would expect when we're talking about a game that consists of the best players in the league going head-to-head. I mean, if anything, this game is supposed to be one of the best moments of the league, and for some time it was. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that every single All-Star Game had the best defense in the world and, players were locking each other down, but damn, if you go back to the early 2000s or the 90s, there was at least something there. They weren't just chucking up these shots from the half-court, logo like they are today. And you know what? We got to give some credit to Adam Silver because he has tried a lot of different methods to make the players more engaged in these games, make them care more, make them try to play harder, better on defense, and actually, just do something. They did the entire target score situation where, they would play up to a certain, score level. It wouldn't just go for 4 quarters. And also in that game, every single quarter that they would end, whichever team had the most points would get money for a charity. So there's a bit more incentive there. You're giving some money to a charity, you're playing the game. It was fun. And actually that game was probably one of the most fun ones that we've seen in some time. Not necessarily because of the target score, but just because the game happened to be close and, went down to free throws, which was a little bit underwhelming, but still. If you watch that All-Star game, you know that it was pretty fun, but people still complained, so they went and did the draft format where they had the 2 captains draft their players, and that led to some funny moments as well, whether it was, trying to make Kevin Durant draft James Harden, but he didn't want to because of the whole Brooklyn Nets debacle.
3 with a handy. See, and now we know why LeBron carries a clipboard with him to the
or, whatever it was. That was fun, but once again, the games weren't good. They were still just shot chucking and didn't really care. So they went back to East versus West last year, and they brought in Larry Bird into the locker room to tell these players, hey, this is where you need to try. This is where you need to be putting in your effort, and I'm sure you guys know exactly how that went. It flopped. So what does Adam Silver and the NBA decide to do this year to make things better and try to change things? Well, they replace it with a tournament-style game instead of just, one single game. And you know what? I know a lot of people are skeptical about this.
I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
But me personally, I cannot wait. We're getting 3 team captains, Charles, Shaq, and Kenny. They're going to draft their teams, which we already know is going to be absolutely hilarious. Then the 4th team will be Candace Parker as their, head coach or GM or whatever. And she's in charge of the team that wins the Rising Stars tournament. That gives us 4 teams, 3 of them being all-star, rosters, and then the 4th one being the Rising Star players, rookies, second-year guys, whatever it is. They will then play in a couple of games that do have a actual target score. I'm pretty sure in the semifinals it's like 40 points or something like that. And then in the very final game, it's like 30 or 20 points for, the target score. So a lot more faster pace, quicker pickup games, different looks, more guys being able to play. And then also the twist of having the Rising Stars, these young guys that can come out and beat the best players in the entire league. And once again, I want to make it very clear. I understand that some people are skeptical and they don't think that this is, what's good or whatever, but there's people like Gilbert Arenas, who we are going to be watching today, that just immediately shut this down and I don't think actually understand what the hell they're talking about. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Gilbert Arenas is saying, because he just released a clip on his YouTube channel or his podcast, whatever, talking about it. And the title alone, Gilbert Arenas destroys the new NBA All-Star game. It just looks bad already.
Still 24 All-Stars selected, 12 from each conference. The 24 All-Stars will be broken up into 3 teams of 8 players each and will also include the winner of the Rising Stars game to create a 4-team tournament. They had this format in the Rising Stars game, right? It wasn't the worst, but
The fuck is the Rising Stars in there for?
Because they hungry, Gil. They trying to get that bread.
It's Rising Stars. I mean, it's first and second year players playing against real All-Stars, and you think they have a chance?
This is actually where I start to get mad, because you guys just heard me talk about how excited I am to have the Rising Stars in this game. And I'm sorry, I don't know who his name is. I don't really watch this show that much, but the guy who said that they're hungry and that they want to win, he's right. The Rising Stars are in there because if you're LeBron James or if you're SGA or if you're Luka Doncic, the last thing you want to do is lose to some bum-ass rookie. You don't want to be losing like that. I think Victor Wembanyama, actually, I don't know how that works. He's probably going to be an all-star. He wouldn't be in the second-year group. But if you're the established stars in the league, if there's anything that's going to make you more competitive, it's not going up against your best friend on the other team. It's going up against the young guys, knowing that you will be flamed on social media if you let them whoop your ass by 20 points. So for Gilbert Arenas to sit here and talk about, why are they even in the tournament? Do you not know why we're in this situation? situation in the first place, these players are not playing competitively when going up against each other. Why would just splitting them up into even more groups make any difference whatsoever? That's why I love the Rising Stars being in here.
Like who's making up the shit y'all got? How about this? Have a prize at the end of every quarter. Ta-da!
You say a prize?
Prize, like
For the team that wins the quarter.
$200,000 for the team that wins the first quarter. Awarded. Second quarter, team who wins the second quarter, $200,000. Third quarter, fourth quarter, which means every quarter is playing very hard because they want the $200,000.
Okay, yeah, we're getting out of hand here. I don't even know what the hell they're trying to say. Not only did that take him like 3 minutes just to come up with right there, but at what point are we going to stop using money as the motivator for these NBA players to actually give a fuck? And not to mention, I just said before that they actually did something like this earlier, and I think it was 2020 or something around then, but they gave it to charity. Something that they should probably play even harder for, but you know, they might play a little bit harder if it means it's going into their pockets instead of the kids that need it. Because guess what? Even in those games where they were giving money to charity, they didn't all play, you know, complete defense. They weren't all trying their hardest. Yes, if they all won $200,000 at the end of every quarter, I'm sure it would look like a finals game. But it's the actual like idea of giving these players even more money to play in a fun weekend game. And not to mention, these aren't just guys that are like, you know, like the NBA Cup, where if you win, it goes to some G League guys, the two-way guys, you know, the guys who don't make that much money. $500K is a lot for them. The All-Star game is full of millionaires. This is full of people with hundreds of millions of dollars. What the fuck do they need $500,000 or $200,000 a quarter for? And also, I would feel like shit if I'm watching these games going, damn, they're only trying hard because they're gonna get $200K at the end of the quarter. So at what point is the incentive going to stop being money and just be the fact that you need to fucking play with some pride and actually try to win the game? The fact that money has become the sole reason for why they should play has become just so like delusional and inflated. I don't understand. But maybe he has some other stuff to say here. I'm actually starting to lose it. I cannot take much more of this fucking podcast.
So reports say that Steph Curry and other All-Stars had input on the idea as well. Does that change your opinion of it?
Dumb.
Damn, yeah.
Okay, listen.
Sorry, Steph.
I'm playing against LeBron James.
Fair.
Right?
Bronny potentially.
I'm playing against Giannis. I'm playing against Giannis, right? And then I'm playing against Sachet. Right, I'm playing against the rookies. Sophomore game, that's who I'm gonna be playing against. Like, why? Like, if I'm not playing hard against this group, why the fuck am I gonna play hard against this one?
Well, I mean, he kind of answered his own question. They already don't play hard against Giannis, you know, LeBron. They already don't even try against them. So maybe playing against younger guys who would embarrass the shit out of you if they won would make you want to win the game a little bit more. I don't understand the point here of, well, I don't want to play against the young guys. I just want to play up against the stars. Well, shit, you should have been trying in the first place then for every single year that they were doing the All-Star game. His point makes no sense here.
You know, it's All-Star time. It's time to prove yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's that they're trying to come up with a format to make these guys play harder, which is diabolical.
But that's not gonna do it.
If you don't want to play hard, they're not gonna play hard.
No.
We're in the era of guys who don't care about playing hard. We, as the audience, have to accept they don't give a fuck.
No doubt.
About you crying.
I like Gil's idea, because if they know, and I don't care how much money they make, but if they know there's some money on the line, that's gonna make them play a lot harder.
At the end of every quarter, so that means we gotta come out all that shooting
format.
50 fucking threes, and I can win an extra $10,000, $20,000 at the end of this quarter. No, dog, we're gonna play harder.
No doubt.
Okay, I do want to say real quick, once again, I'm sorry I don't really know their names that well. This guy has kind of got it down. If there is one thing about the entire All-Star game or All-Star break itself, we might just be in an era where they don't care. They don't care if we complain about there being no physicality. We don't care about there being no defense or whatever it is. I mean, shit, even I said it before, but Obama complained to Tyrese Halliburton saying,
y'all got to have a little more pride in that All-Star game.
And Tyrese Halliburton's answer was like, I just kind of read the room. So if the veteran guys aren't really trying that hard, then neither are the younger guys, which is a little bit weird to me. I feel like if you're young, you should be trying to prove yourself or be different in the first place. But we might just be in an era where they don't really care. I think the tournament does add a little bit more to it because it's shorter games. It's quicker. You know, they don't have to play an entire game. They can just kind of quickly, you know, play with more effort because it does go by faster. Once again, this right here with the money thing, I think that giving these players money just to play in the All-Star game, a fun little weekend activity where it's supposed to just, you know, really celebrate the NBA and the talent that there is, it would ruin things. It would make things even worse. And also, not to mention, we complain about the NBA, just regular season games being too many three-pointers or too much whatever. Do you think that if they win and they get a prize, they're going to play defense? They're just going to be chucking up even more threes. It's the game that we see already today. So what makes you think that because there's money on the line, they're going to start locking down players defensively? No, it comes from two different things. It comes from effort and actually caring about the game itself when the players are on the court, because no matter what tournament format you have, if the players don't care, it's not going to matter at all. And then second, I do truly believe that having some stakes to it does matter, just not financially. I don't want money to be involved in this, just me personally. So I think the stakes of being embarrassed by the rookies or having your team of just 6 guys or whatever it is losing is a lot more than, you know, just kind of going out, playing your game, dicking around on the bench, and then going home. But that being said, I cannot handle another second of this podcast. So if you guys did enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below your opinions on the All-Star game or the All-Star, you know, new format that they have coming out. I read and respond to everyone, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.